Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, so I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is: if Kawhi Leonard beats Kevin Durant in the finals, is he going to be a top 10 NBA player of all time? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. Before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, check out our Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community we created, a place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, consume original content, and so many other cool things that you can do on there. So if you guys want to check that out, we have that linked in the description below and get 7 days of free access. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy. People are signing up every day, it seems like. Also, click the join button next to the subscribe button on our channel to receive loyalty badges to ensure that your comments are read and responded to whenever you leave a comment on the channel. So make sure you go ahead and hit the join button there. Anyway, ever since the addition of James Harden, right, a lot of people have agreed that the Nets, that they've never seen a compilation of talent, an amalgamation of talent like this on one team. I have never seen an amalgamation of talent like this on one team. I never have, right? We've seen some talented teams before in the past. We've seen some super teams in the past. We've never seen a team with three dominant perimeter players in the middle of their prime like this. No, we haven't. We have not. I don't think. What's the team? Some people have mentioned the Golden State Warriors. I don't think the Golden State Warriors have the firepower that this Brooklyn Nets team has. Let's just be honest. There's no two ways to slice it. There's no team like it, right? And to me, I think when you delve a little bit deeper into the numbers of their big three, I think you really begin to understand just how serious of a team it is. Now, let me just give you guys some stats here for you to ponder on. Of the Brooklyn Nets big three, two of these guys are virtually having a 50-40-90 season. Let's just put that into perspective for a second. Steve Nash has had a 50-40-90 season twice. Larry Bird has done it. Kevin Durant has done it. Here, it's a very rare thing to do, and Stephen Curry has done it. I think those are the only guys that have had 50-40-90 seasons, shooting 50% from the field, 40% from the three, 90% from the free throw line. Those are the only guys that have done it in the history of the NBA. On this team, not only do they have one of the guys that's done that, they have another guy that's virtually doing the same thing on the same team. There's no team anyone can point to that had that type of talent before. Now, some people might say, well, wait a minute, that Golden State Warriors had the two guys. Yes, but the third guy makes it different. Listen to what Kevin Durant, the numbers he's putting up this season. This year, Kevin Durant, in just 22 games that he's played, he's averaging 28 points per game. He's shooting 53% from the field, 45% from the three. Think about this. Ponder on these numbers that I'm giving to you guys, right? 88% from the free throw line. He's getting you 7.1 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.3 blocks. Those are KD's numbers. Let's look at his running mate that's having similar numbers. Kyrie Irving, who I think is having his best year statistically, is averaging 27.6 points per game. So you got two guys that are averaging 28. Just ponder on that for a moment. Okay, Kyrie Irving is shooting 51% from the field. He's shooting 40% from the three, 90% from the free throw line. That's virtually a 50-40-90 season right there. He's shooting 39.8% from the 3-point line. You round that up, that's 40%, right? He's getting you 4.8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1.2 steals. Those are the two players that they have on their team. They're putting up those type of numbers. Then, just when you thought that, okay, it couldn't get any scarier, you add a player like James Harden, who's probably the best point guard in the NBA, at least in the regular season. I think in the playoffs, that person becomes LeBron James, right? James Harden this season is averaging 25 points per game. So now I've given you the three players. Two are averaging around 28, or let me say it another way. Two are averaging at least 27. This is insanity that we're talking about here. Two are averaging at least 27. And you have James Harden. You throw him in. He's averaging 25 points per game. Okay. He's getting you 8 rebounds and 11 assists per game. And he's also shooting in the high 30s in threes and the high 40s in field goal percentage. That's James Harden. What team in the NBA can say that they have this type, a compilation of players like this? There is no team like that. On top of that, they're the number 1 field goal shooting team in the NBA. They're in the top 2 in scoring, I think, behind the Milwaukee Bucks. And most of these guys are doing all of this. They're having all of this team success. I think they're the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. And most of their players have been in and out of the lineup. The Brooklyn Nets, with Kyrie Irving and James Harden, they went on a West Coast run. They beat everybody. They beat the Lakers with LeBron. Okay, let's put this into context. I've spoken about the Brooklyn Nets defense and how it could be an issue. They still went in there without KD and beat the Lakers. They beat the Clippers twice already, with KD, without KD. Newsflash, this is a very, very good team. People were making a big deal. I know they lost to the Lakers that game. I was talking about their defense, but let's not get it twisted. The Brooklyn Nets are still the scariest team in the NBA, in my opinion. Now, some people, like Nick Wright and others, are talking to the defensive rating. Ben Simmons has some statements about them. I think they're going to play the Sixers today. We're going to see what he got, right? We're going to see if Ben Simmons can stay with this three-headed monster. But the Brooklyn Nets are a legitimate team. And to beat them, you're going to be going against the odds. Let's just be honest, right? Given all the reasons I just gave you guys. Now, let's move to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is no stranger at beating the odds. Let's look at his last championship that he won with the Toronto Raptors. The year prior, the guy was injured. Written off in the NBA. Everybody wrote him off. Everybody said some guys was faking an injury, blah, blah, blah. Nobody was even thinking about Kawhi Leonard when he went to go play with the Toronto Raptors. Let's be honest. He wasn't on anybody's radar. Similarly to this season, nobody's really checking for Kawhi Leonard. Let's just be honest. Went to the Toronto Raptors. What happened? Got them out the first round. Got them out the second round in a very tough 7-game series. And I think a lot of people picked the Sixers. I think even Stephen A. Smith, as usual. Get to the conference finals. Everybody picked against him there. Everybody did. Especially after they dropped the first 2 games. Then goes to the NBA finals. And everybody picked against him again. Stephen A. Smith, all of them picked against him again. So he's going against the odds. Because everybody thought the odds were not in his favor. Goes to the NBA finals. Wins the title. The first title for a team that had never even been to the finals before. Took him to a title and broke through his first year. That's what Kawhi Leonard did, right? Won him a title. So it's not like as if Kawhi Leonard has not had some tough challenges in his career. This year, however, this will be the toughest challenge I think he will ever face in his career if he gets to the NBA finals. Because the man that will be standing in his way this year is Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is a different type of monster. Because we've seen KD in the biggest moments deliver. In 2 back-to-back years in the NBA Finals, say whatever you want to say. Oh, he was on a great team. It doesn't matter. He still hit those shots. Those big shots that he hit, it was him. It wasn't Stephen Curry. It wasn't Klay Thompson. It was him. Stephen Curry has never even been a Finals MVP. It was KD. KD is a big-time player. And that's the guy that's going to be standing between him and making history again. And if the Clippers somehow, some way, make it to the NBA Finals and meet the Brooklyn Nets and beat that team, a team that I think has a better chance to beat the Clippers, in my opinion, because of their big 3. Again, I've never seen a compilation of perimeter players like that before in my life. I haven't. If they're somehow able, the Clippers, to beat this team, and Kawhi Leonard helps them win a championship and deliver their first title, well, where does that put him all time? I think a lot of people right now have KD ranked in at least the top 15 of all time. I think a lot of people, probably with the exception of Skip Bayless, if I'm not mistaken. And I think there seems to be a little bit of confusion between if Stephen Curry ranks higher than Kevin Durant. I think, to me, it's clear. I think Kevin Durant ranks higher than Stephen Curry all time. But anyway, I think KD is kind of ranked in the top 15. And I think Kawhi, some people probably have him in the top 20. But if Kawhi is able to pull this off and win this title, then he got to be at least in the top 11, 12, right? Because as I said before during the live we did the other day, for me, for Kawhi Leonard to crack the top 10, I think he needs 4 titles, man. Because there are a lot of guys in there that already have 4. With the exception of Larry Bird. So, okay, maybe you can make a case. Well, if Larry Bird is in there with 3, then maybe Kawhi can get in there with 3. Probably, right? But for me, I think for him to be a shoo-in into that top 10, he needs at least 4. And then to get to that top 5, probably 5, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but for sure, I think he needs at least 4. Now, this title will mean probably as much as it did as the title that he won with the Toronto Raptors, because again, you're taking an organization that has never won a title before, and you're taking them to a championship, and they win their first title. That's not that would make this ring a lot heavier than the other 2 rings that he has in his possession. Now, let me just say this finally, to be fair to some LeBron James fans. Some of you guys are gonna be thinking about, what if LeBron wins this title and is not Kawhi, and LeBron James and the Lakers go to the NBA Finals and beat the Nets? Where does that put LeBron? Well, to me, I have LeBron number 4 all time on my personal list. I have him behind I have him behind Jordan, Kareem, and Kobe on my list. Where does that put LeBron all time? I think if LeBron was to be able to get this ring and get his 5th ring at this stage in his career against this Brooklyn Nets team, and I have him at number 4, I think LeBron moves up to number 3. And I would put him ahead of Kobe. They'll be tied in rings. But beating this team would be remarkable. In my opinion. And it would be hard not to put him in the top 3. Now, some people may say, well, the greatest player. That's where, again, you guys take it a little bit too far. Because if you're going to say LeBron is going to be the greatest player of all time, hold up. Look at the 2 players ahead of him. He doesn't have a better resume than Kareem. He's not the number 1 scorer in the NBA history. He doesn't have 6 titles. He doesn't have 6 regular season MVPs. He doesn't have the most unstoppable shot in the history of the NBA. He ain't going ahead of Kareem. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Go look at Kareem's numbers. He's not going ahead of Kareem. And Jordan, I don't even think is still a debate. Because I just checked this morning. Jordan is top 5 in steals, I think, all time. What? Steals. What? So he doesn't get ahead of Jordan, but to me, I think he goes into the top 3. And as a Kobe fan, that's me being extremely objective. He's not the greatest, because when people start talking about the greatest, they just skip over Kareem and all of these guys. I'm not playing that game. To me, I think he becomes top 3. So what I want to know from you guys is, if Kawhi Leonard wins this ring, does he become a top 10 player of all time? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.